Hi, everyone. I am Violette Ayala, the founder of FemCity, and today I'm interviewing the amazing and fabulous Sarah Sparks. Sarah is a part of our FemCity Global program. She is often a teacher, speaker, coach, writer for FemCity. And I just shared with her in the green room as we were preparing for this session that she had a lot of love come through today for her from a lot of our femmes, either in the global program or in the local program. So there is always a lot of love headed your way, Sarah. So I'm so excited to talk to you about all things FemCity. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. And it always melts my heart when you say that, or if I read it on the comments that I've gotten love from global members and local members. It means a lot. So thank you for sharing that.
I think one, you said like you changed everything. Like she accredited so much change in her life to you. So it was a huge one. And I won't share the name just in case, but I'll tell you later. Anyway, how did you even find FemCity? How did it even come across your radar?
Yes. So I have a nephew who's 4 months older than me, and his wife is part of a chapter in Florida.
Yeah.
And so she connected with me and said, hey, you need to join FemCity. I know that there's one in the Des Moines area. And that's when I was living in Des Moines. Now I live in South Carolina. And so she connected me with Lainey. And I'm not even sure if Lainey's still even involved, or like, I have no idea, but it's been since April of 2018. And I was majorly pregnant. Like I had Joy in the end of June of 2018. So I think I attended my very first FemCity meeting in Des Moines at like 9 months pregnant. And it was at like a baby place, like to buy baby supplies. I was like, how perfect is this? But that's not why. So Spirit had been telling me to be all in. And honestly, I didn't know what being all in meant in my life, in my business. And then when this opportunity came to be a lifetime global member for an organization I knew nothing about, I was like, well, I guess that would be being all in, as being a global lifetime member. And I remember thinking, oh, I don't know if I can afford the membership. And I look back now and it was the best investment I ever made in my entire life. And because being dedicated and being involved and showing up at the local chapters when I lived in Des Moines, showing up as a global member, your opportunities of giving us global members opportunities to show up as teachers, of speakers, of coaches, consistently showing up and reaching out and connecting and loving on and celebrating all these amazing women that you so delicately have brought in. It has more than tripled, almost quadrupled my business. So
wow. I can't believe you've been a part of it since 2018, because I feel like we connected at the end of 2019, like during the pandemic. I think we got closer. So
I remember in 2018, maybe beginning of 19, I signed up to be on like your podcast or whatnot, but we weren't really, I think we were just like phoning in. I'm not even sure if we like were meeting in like face to face like this or whatnot. So
yeah,
I mean, I have to, if I can share just a little bit more of when I would show up for those podcasts and you would they ask me questions, or like the questions in the bio to even answer. I'm like, okay, if I'm using FemCity as the physical representation of being all in, like what is the most real version of me that I could possibly put up there? Or like being like a guest speaker or whatever, I would be like, all right, Violet takes it to a whole new level. I need to show up as like my most professional, put together self. And because at the time I was just kind of halfway doing things, like sometimes I would get ready, sometimes I wouldn't, and when Spirit's asking me to be all in, it's me taking my business seriously and why my soul came here. So FemCity helped me do that.
Oh, I love that, Sarah. Thank you. I'm trying not to cry during these things. All right, so let's talk about how FemCity helped you during the pandemic. And the reason why I'm asking that question is because I think it'll inspire other women to recognize that there's still growth and possibility in times that may seem turbulent, whether it's a pandemic or a recession or a re-pandemic or a post-pandemic. How did it help you and your brand?
Being a global member, I'm not part of a local chapter right now because there isn't one where I'm at. But being a global member, it helped me to continually think on a global scale and how may I show up and how may I serve. And then we would get together and just maybe it's like a small group of women. I can't even remember on like what days, but just like randomly, and still remembering to connect, because I feel like what we give is what we receive. And so the energy is still there. We are still energetic beings, no matter what the government is saying, no matter what the economy is saying, no matter what the cash flow is saying, yada, yada. Cash is an energy. But we as energy beings, we are the ones who are leading our life. And so showing up every single day, every single week is telling the universe, God, you know what? I'm showing up. Have whoever I'm to serve show up for me as well.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, I hope that made sense, but that's what I got out of consistently showing up, even connecting, having heart-to-heart conversations during the pandemic, all the things. And I don't mean pandemic as like quotes, like it didn't happen. It did happen. I just mean during that time or any time, we have to remember what and who we are plugging into.
Right.
For me, myself, am I plugging into the fears, or am I plugging into my own divinity and my own, the creator within that is creating my life and others as well?
Yeah. And I love that you mentioned that you grew your business quadruple, because I know your business really exploded as well during the pandemic. And I think that the kind of the golden nugget I'm pulling out of that is that to continuously show up. A lot of times when things are turbulent, whether it's a pandemic or whether it's, you're moving to a new location, or you're having more kids, or you're separating from your partner, or you're now taking care of your elderly parents, whatever those kind of like life cycles happening are going on, that if you just continuously show up in your business, you continuously show up to connect and to help. I love that you mentioned, because I'm a huge believer in that too, that karmic reciprocity that happens in business is that when we give of ourselves, it always comes back to us. It most likely will come back to us in other ways. I think humans are generally looking at like, well, I gave it to Sarah and Sarah hasn't given it back to me. It's like, yeah, you gave it to Sarah, but it will come back to you other ways. And then Sarah will probably give it back to you down the line also. It always comes back to you. So I love that you mentioned that, because you have to have energy into it. You cannot be joining any networking organization, whether it's FemCity or your local chamber of commerce, and then sit at home and not answer the calls, not get on any emails, not get on any social media, not attend any meetings. I mean, you have to show up continuously in order for you to keep on up leveling, which you've done so beautifully, which I love seeing. All right. So my next question for you is, what is your favorite FemCity? I call them love stories, which makes no sense because we're talking about business, but I call them love stories, FemCity love stories, because they're generally women that have met through networking events or our business programs, and they've become best friends, or they've decided to collaborate or to partner up or to help each other out on projects. So what's your favorite FemCity love story?
The first thing that comes to mind is I had to be diligent with this because I can't say like names or whatnot. I've had the opportunity to work with and guide and support a lot of FemCity members. A lot of my business is FemCity, or people who aren't part of FemCity, who they're working with other people and it's all referred. It was the coolest thing. I got on one virtual event, and I will be honest, I haven't been on a virtual event for a while. I usually have been having client calls at the same time, which is a really good thing too. But I get on and I look at the Zoom meeting, and I have either or did work with almost all the women on there. And so in my head, sometimes as a solopreneur, I think, am I making any impact? Like, is this really, like, am I doing what my soul came here to do? And then I got on that Zoom and 20 some odd women were like facing back at me. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, I could get emotional, so I get it together. But I am just so grateful because you have really brought together some heart-centered, kind, loving, fun women. I'm gonna cry that I get to work with. So it's pretty cool. Good Christ.
For those of you that don't know, I'm a super easy crier, and I've been holding it together. And anyway, thank you so much. Yeah, it's interesting. I think you know this about me. When I started FemCity, there were so many times I was going to give up because I wasn't making any money. I was pouring so much money into it. It was taking so much of my time. I had to pull my kids out of private school. I had to sell my beautiful Mercedes that I loved. Like, it was a really big sacrifice for many years, not just one, like many years. And I had always made money in every other business I've ever created. It was the first business that I just could not, like, but I knew. And the reason why I never gave up was because of the confirmation, like what you just said right now, is like I would like randomly just get an email from someone saying, thank you so much for creating FemCity. Because of you, my business has grown. Or, FemCity, I met my best friend through FemCity, or I was able to heal my trauma because of FemCity's program. So it's interesting, like those words of confirmation, when we receive them, it is so powerful, because I think we all question ourselves, are we on the right path? Especially when things get a little bit challenging. We're like, gosh, this is really hard. Maybe this isn't meant for me. And the reason why we've been around for 13 years is because there were like 2 years there that I thought about giving up at the beginning. And I would just get this random email from a random stranger just thanking me. And I was like, okay, I'm doing good work. Let me get back at it. So
I hear you. Every day, and not every day, but every time it happens, my mind goes to, should I be doing this? Should I,
yeah.
am I doing something that I shouldn't be doing? Am I on the right path? So people ask me that all the time. I ask myself that, like I check it out. And as soon as I question someone that I haven't thought about for a long time, or it's been months since I had their channeling session, they will message me, they will email me, and they will tell me what has happened. Or I say, show up. Like, you have to show up. We were talking about showing up.
Yeah.
And when I was preparing for this conversation, the phrase show up and then they will show up for you. And that's what I feel happens now, is I can't show up. If I schedule appropriately, I could, but I have clients currently during the virtual meetings, and I love it, and thank you. So I can't necessarily show up, but because I'm showing up for the clients in different ways, they then show up for me, and they are then singing my praises or showing me love, and then that continues to ripple and affect. So
yeah, and that's that interconnectedness that we all have. Like, we're all connected. That's why I say, like, we had a virtual networking session today. I haven't led a local one in many, many, many months. And so I led one today, and just sharing why we do that gratitude for other women, even if they can't hear you, just saying it out loud. I really believe, and I know you do as well, that we're all interconnected energetically and vibrationally, so that if I'm helping someone, even just sharing love for them, and they never even hear it, they never even know about it, it's out there, and it will impact them, and it will also elevate me as well. So love that. All right. So final advice that you have, or rather any advice that you have for someone who may be watching or listening and saying, I don't know if I really want to sign up for this trial membership. I'm kind of nervous. Any advice that you would have for those that are looking at maybe taking FemCity for a spin?
Whenever I have conversations with people, I encourage people colleagues or business associates, to join FemCity, because reach out, connect. What you give, you receive. Be part of it. You may find your women there. You may find your tribe there. You may not. I don't know. But all I know is, like I said, is if you show up for them and show up for yourself, show up on your own path, and stop being ashamed of the path that you're on. No matter where you are on your path, at least when you do show up and continually show up in those daily bite-sized pieces that are achievable and appealing and amazing, and you activate within you this need, this desire to receive. And then you give more and then you receive. And I just feel like the energy of FemCity has benefited me, and it has that continual flow. And I don't know. That's what I would. I kind of rambled, but there you go.
No, it's perfection. Yeah, and like I always tell people, FemCity is not for everyone. You know what I mean? Like it's definitely got its own culture and its own vibe, and it's not for everyone. But as someone told me yesterday, Melissa Tossel, who I interviewed yesterday, she said she looked at the 30-day trial membership and she was like, I mean, I tried out for 30 days. It's free for 30 days. I can cancel it. What's the worst that's going to happen? And then she did it. And like, now she's like, I mean, she's obviously, you know, her a really big part of the global program. So anyway, Sarah, thank you so much for taking the time today and sharing some FemCity love for me and for our community. And I'm so grateful that I have you in my life through FemCity and also personally. And for those that want to connect with you, where should they go?
sarahsparks.love.
Love that website. Anyway, thank you so much, Sarah. I'm sending you so much love. And thanks to everyone that's watching us. Head over to FemCity.com to learn more. Mwah! Love you, Sarah.
Bye-bye.